Welcome to a new week. This week we'll be looking at the reproductive system in vertebrates. Our learning goals this week are that at the end of this lesson, we all should be able to describe the reproductive system of a fish. And we should also be able to describe the reproductive system in amphibians. We should also describe the reproductive system in reptiles and also describe the reproductive system in birds. During our description of this reproductive system in vertebrates, we should always compare and contrast the advancement, the characteristics of this reproductive system. Compare reproductive system of a fish and that of an amphibian. That of an amphibian with that of reptiles and also that of birds. Look at the advancement in the mode of reproduction, mode of fertilization, mode of mating, the mating patterns. Look at all these things and identify their similarities and their differences as we start. What is reproduction? Reproduction is ability of a living organism to give rise to new individuals of the same species. You know that we have two types of reproduction, which is sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, we have fission or joining of male and female gametes to form a zygote. While in asexual reproduction, we use just a production of any individual from a parent or organism without anything like fertilization or option of gametes. So the example of asexual reproduction, we know something like binary fission, spore formation, vegetative propagation. These are examples of asexual reproduction. While when it comes to sexual reproduction, it has to deal with fission of gametes. And this sexual reproduction we are looking at is the one that happens in vertebrates. All vertebrates produce both male and female gametes in their gonads. Male and female gametes are produced in the gonads. The male gamete, which we always call the sperms, or the spermatozoa, the cell, is produced in the gonad too. While the female gamete, which we call the egg or ova, is also produced in the gonad. So the process of these two coming together to fertilize and form a zygote is what we call sexual reproduction. Now, it involves the coming together of two gametes to form a zygote. Now, in gamete formation, which we call gametogenesis, the formation of gametes is called gametogenesis. It includes two types. There are two types of gamete formation, which is oogenesis and spermatogenesis. Oogenesis is the formation of egg or ova, while spermatogenesis is the formation of sperms or spermatozoa. These are the two types of gametogenesis. Remember, gametogenesis is the formation of gametes, and these gametes are produced where? In the gonads. So if we look at these reproductions, it's an asexual reproduction that occurs in vertebrates. We'll be looking at these modes of reproduction in these different organisms that we have highlighted in our objectives. The first one, reproductive system in fish. In reproductive system in fish, we have to understand that fishes, they undergo sexual reproduction, and even though they do undergo sexual reproduction, we should understand that their fertilization occurs externally. They undergo external fertilization. They are also eusexual organisms, which means that they are not hermaphrodites. They have one single sex, or they mate with their opposite sex, or the similar sex partners. So they are not hermaphrodites. The female reproductive system of a fish and the male reproductive system, you always see this reproductive system within the abdominal region of the fish. So the female is the one that lays the egg During the reproduction, the female fish lays about 10 millions of eggs, at a time, and these eggs are laid outside their body, inside the water. So which means that they will dilate, they will stimulate, this egg will stimulate the male fish to shed its own sperms. Now when the sperms are released, it will swim to meet the eggs and fertilize them. But not all these eggs are fertilized. Not all of them are fertilized. The eggs can be able to survive in the environment because they have a yolk. The eggs, there is presence of yolk in them, which will always nourish and provide food, as well as bring about an environment by which gaseous exchange can be able to occur within the environment of the egg, and which is the embryo, and that of the surrounding water body. This occurs through diffusion. Now, in the male fish, we can see that the male fish here plays a role that is very, very vital. If although that it occurs, it is only in few fishes that you see the male fish playing the role of parental care, because in fishes, parental care is not common. So they lack parental care. So immediately their eggs are laid, there is no parental care. But even if we see a little amount of parental care in some species of fishes, it is only the male that takes that responsibility. So the fish reproduction is always tagged a wasteful process because of these two reasons. One, lack of parental care, and secondly, because of the external fertilization. If you look at the reproductive system of a male fish, you see that it consists of two testes. The male tilapia fish, the reproductive system consists of two testes. If you see these two testes here, they are elongated and they are suspended into the abdominal cavity. Now these testes are located on each side of the alimentary canal, and they will join posteriorly so that they can have a single duct which opens at the genital duct, or I would say that genital aperture. If you look at the opposite one, which is the female reproductive system, you see that the female reproductive system in fish, it consists of two ovaries. The ovaries, they are responsible for production of egg cells with small amounts of yolk. Now, they will discharge these eggs into the body cavity and are wafted into the oviduct. When you look at here, you see that the ovaries, they are wafted into the oviduct. Now, the oviduct will opens internally, thereby creating into the body cavity. This oviduct is the one that leads to the posterior part of the body, and as well as open into the genital aperture of the fish. So when reproduction occurs through their mating pattern, the male and the female one will always release their gamete through this genital aperture. Reproductive system in amphibians. Just like the fishes, amphibians also undergoes external fertilization. During this time, whenever they are ready for mating, the male frog wraps its forelimbs around the body of the female in a position we call amplatus. It stays there for several days, and the female lays its own egg inside water. These eggs, when they are laid inside water, the eggs are surrounded with jelly-like materials. These eggs that are clumped together are what we call frog spawn. The frog spawns will stay inside the water, and the sperms are ejected from the cloaca of the male directly onto the eggs, thereby causing fertilization to occur. When fertilization occurs, the larva of the stage of it emanates, which is the tadpole. The tadpole emerges from the eggs, which after several days, it will emerge as an adult frog, especially that's during the springtime. Now, the reproductive system of a a male frog. The male frog has two testes, just like fishes. If you look at the two testes, they are attached to the kidney through the fine tubes. This fine tube we call vasa efferentia, or we say that they are the efferent ducts. The male reproductive system lacks penis. There is no penis. So sperms are ejected from the cloaca directly onto the eggs. Anywhere that the female lays the egg, whenever it climbs on the female, it lays those eggs on top directly onto the eggs where the female lays them. Now, if you look at the female reproductive system, you see that the female reproductive system has also two ovaries. These ovaries, remember, ovaries are responsible for production of eggs. So when these ovaries, right, the ovary discharges eggs into the body cavity. From the body cavity, the eggs will move through the oviduct. Look at the oviduct. From the oviduct, they will be received. They'll be received through the abdomen. From the abdomen here, around this region, they will move into the walls of the posterior part of the oviduct. And the eggs are stored in the form of an ovisac. In an ovisac within the ovarian region, or the region of the oviduct. The eggs are stored in the ovisac. From there, they are discharged from the body through the cloaca to the exterior part of the body.